What was your view on the Sam Bennett hit on Stolarz? And
elbow to the head. Yeah, clearly. Yeah, clear as day.
All right, the Leafs just won Game 1 of their series against the Florida Panthers. We'll get to that in a second, but before that, we need to talk about this moment in the second period. And I don't know, call me biased, and I'm clearly cheering for the Leafs in this series, but this is, in my opinion, a dirty move by a player who I think is no longer getting the benefit of the doubt. Sam Bennett, very clearly in my opinion, gives Stolarz the forearm chivvy. He's knocked down, and while he would stay in for a bit, during a subsequent TV timeout, he was puking on the bench and was pulled by concussion spotters. Not a great sign, by the way, if you don't pull the guy until he's literally puking. But I won't pretend to be a doctor. It seems pretty obvious that he has a concussion. This isn't Bennett's first rodeo. It seems like most playoffs he's pulling something like this. Last year we talked about the hit to that was greasy. He also took out Matthew Knies a couple years ago, but this is really bad for the Leafs. Stolarz has provided so much security that this team just has not had in the playoffs. And honestly, it's felt different watching a Leafs team with that comfort on the back end, with that extra security, without sort of the existential dread of a goalie letting a soft one in at any given moment. So hopefully Stolarz is okay. Either way, for the game, the Leafs had the strongest first period they've had maybe all season. I'm not saying this just because they scored 3, because honestly, they could have scored 10. Willie Nylander opened it 33 seconds in. Just a shot, a nice shot. And honestly, he was flying all period. With 7 minutes left in the period after a ton of physical play, including some big hits by Pacioretty, he'd pick the puck up from a rebound in the slot. Nice move. 2-0 Leafs. Seth Jones would get one back on the power play, but less than 20 seconds later, Morgan Rielly receives a beautiful, beautiful breakup pass from Nylander. He goes in 2-on-1 with Tavares, keeps, shoots. They end the period up 3-1. In the second, Chris Tanev would be credited with the Leafs goal. I honestly think, they've had time to look at it. To me, it looks like Knies touches it. I've got to say something else, though. Matthew Knies has been such a standout. Nylander had a great game. I thought Marner played pretty well, but Knies is just the entire package. And even something more controversial here, he at times has been dragged down by Austin Matthews, which is something crazy to say, but largely because of Matthew Knies' ferocious forecheck in his passing. Austin Matthews has among the most scoring attempts in the entire playoffs, but he's only got 2 goals. And honestly, the man is just not hitting the net. So yeah, Matthews is playing a responsible defensive game, but his finishing, if it were there, the Leafs just would have such a dynamic offense. I'm not trying to be overly critical of this game, but it was noticeable, at least to me. Anyway, in the third, with Wall in net, the Panthers made things interesting. Luostarinen started off the scoring. Not going to blame Wall for that one. Beautiful pass from Lindell. Uvis Blinksigus, he would then score a second goal. I'm not going to lie. Never heard of this dude in my entire life. And man, the rest of that third was clenched butthole moments for Leafs fans. I was texting Brandon. He said flashes of Matt Fratton blowing a breakaway when the Leafs were up 4-3. And that was in reference to Bobrovsky just absolutely robbing Domi. And of course, that Boston Game 7, which we don't need to talk about. Then Matthew Knies, a minute later, would restore the 2-goal lead. And thank God for Leafs fans he did, because Florida saw what's happened the past 2 nights. And with 2 minutes remaining, Sam Bennett scores from the circle. The Leafs have to do a better job defending this, but it's also a goal you want Wall to have. Bennett's low, and Wall has his glove protecting the far side. You gotta hug the post there, I would think. But despite coming very, very close in the final seconds of the game, the Florida Panthers would not be able to mount the comeback, and the Toronto Maple Leafs would take this one 5-4. Overall, I think some really positive signs for Leafs fans here. They didn't play like the Toronto Maple Leafs of the past. Maybe that is the Craig Berube effect, but concerningly, a lot of their win was due to a really sleepy start by the Panthers. Maybe they don't have that game too. Also, I worry a lot about Stolarz being out. He's a lot better than Wall. Leafs fans are definitely hoping that this is a Logan Thompson situation where it seems like the end of the world, but he's back next game. Anyway, this video is getting long. Do you think Bennett will face discipline? And have you downloaded Rate Game yet? We partner with the app. It's basically like Goodreads, but for hockey or really any sport. catalog the games you watch, discuss with fans. I'm giving this one 7.9. Pretty damn entertaining. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, and if you want more content, there's a new basketball, football, and hockey video on screen right now. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.